Hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
All right, so let's go with our module 2. Wait. Can you see my screen, guys, sa canvas? Bakit naglalak to? Ayaw magpakita. Internet connection is unstable. Oh my gulay. My God. Anyway, so at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to do the following. Explain the elements of music, especially in the field of pitch, melody, rhythm, and dynamics. So those are the topics that we're going to tackle for the elements of music and demonstrate how to apply the different elements in our daily life. So let's proceed. To read the notes on the stuff for both treble as well as bass clef. So G clef or F clef. Let's proceed once. So we have here a basic question. It is graded 5 points. That's the highest score. So how important is note reading in music? So you write down your answers within um, 2 to 3 sentences only. So ganun dyan. So you jot down here your answers. So as you can see here, we have here a treble clef notes and bass clef notes. So pag treble, G clef. Ito yung G clef, treble clef. So we have also have the bass clef note. So here are the different notes. Belonging. Parang may maingay. Nga, parang may maingay na hindi nag-mute. Sino yon? Mute natin lahat. Okay. So let's proceed. So you just answer how important is note reading in music. Very basic question. So you can answer it within 2 to 3 sentences. The important of note reading in music. Walang kahirap-hirap. Let's proceed. So now we have here your discussion for the pitch, melody, and rhythm. So let's proceed with the slide itself. All right. Okay, so as you can see, the elements of music, yours truly, your maestro Paul Luis Serrano in the house. Elements of music. You are embarking on adventure through musical time. And this journey will be more pleasurable if you first become familiar with some basic musical concept like the elements of music. Siyempre sa lahat ng mga like elements of dance, ganyan, elements of arts. So same true with the music. So you should be familiarized. And then keep in mind that the most new experiences require some initial adjustment and insights. And the process is similar to visiting a distant country for the first time. And you are instantly immersed in different cultures and surrounded by people who speak an unusual language of follow unfamiliar custom. These new experiences could be either very exciting or quite unbearable depending on the perception. Wait lang, parang hindi ko nakikita yung sarili ko. Saglit lang. Wait, saglit lang. How comes, parang hindi ko nakikita yung sarili ko. Ayun, there you go. So we're back. So, balik, 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 balik. Okay. So the first element that we're going to learn for today, first we have the pitch. Talking about pitch, it, it will differentiate whether it is a high pitch or a very low pitch. Meaning, gaano kataas or gaano katinis yung boses or gaano kababa. So let's proceed with the pitch. It says here that it is defined as the relative highness or lowness of sound. So anything that goes up and goes down, that can be classified regarding with your pitch. Okay, this is a general definition. In music, we speak of pitch as a specific tone that is specifically placed on a notated pitch class, as a relative recent term, describe a generalized or generic relationship of pitches that sound essentially identical but are separated by a sense of highness or lowness of sound. So pitch class also refers to the tone that share the same pitch space, and it is it is sounded identically, or it can also produce or spelled differently. So before we go with the stuff, so pag stopping pitch, yun nga, it it shows different concept of how to read notes. Ganyan. It's like pag sabi kasing pitch names, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Tone names, we have Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. We have also numerical names, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 or 1 is the same. Kasi nga, Do, higher Do na ang 8. So it's considered 1. So next, so we have here the stuff. Since early notation was not specific as the exact placement of pitch, a system of parallel horizontal lines came into use in order to show the exact placement. Interestingly, earlier systems of notations employing parallel lines had been in use. So many has been used only in lines themselves, located pitch, not the space between. Pag tinanapin natin stuff, of course, it considered nowadays we have 5 lines. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. So you can use your hand as well as your fingers. Will put it first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. Then sa gitna ng first line and second line, you have the first space. Second line as well as the third line, you have the second space. Third line and the fourth line, you have the third space. So first space, second space, third space, and lastly, fourth line to fifth line, you have in between the fourth space. So para ganito yan. Oh. As you can see, the stuff, first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. So we have 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in between those lines, there are spaces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So again, 5 lines and 4 equal spaces is known stuff. Pag nakakita tayo ng ganito guys, maraming stuff, 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 stuff. Hindi nyo sabing stuffs or stuffs. Dagdagan yung S para maging plural. But the plural form of stuff is stubs. Or staves or stubs. Proceeded stubs. Kasi marami. But if you interconnect the different stuff, iba na rin ang tawag dyan. So ano kaya ang tawag natin doon? So yung tawag natin, ito yung sabi ko sa inyo, you have interconnected line or bracket or vertical line connecting two stuff. Ang tawag na dyan is grand stuff. So you have here, for the line, every good boy does fine. So every good boy does fine. So letter E, letter G, letter B, letter D, letter F. Those are the note pitch names. Pitch, letter names. And for the spaces, yung mga space, F-A-C-E, face, mukha. F, space, we have A, C, and E, eagle. So those are the names. And then for the bass clef, so that is how to read notes on a G clef. But for a bass clef, ang tawag sa mga lines, pag sa bass clef, good boys do fine always. Or you have G, B, D, F, A. Like for the spaces, all cars eat gas. O, diba? All cars eat gas. Bakit eat? Hindi siya drink. Kasi gas yan eh. So anyway, so A, C, E, G. Those are the names in terms of the letter names. Or yes, the letter names as well as known as the pitch name in terms of F clef. So take note, for the first line of the G clef, it's letter E. But for the first line for the F clef, it's letter G. So take note, magkaiba ang reading ng treble clef as well as the bass clef. So wag kayong malilito. Before you answer, take note, look at the clef symbol. Before you answer, tingnan nyo muna, wag kayo sagot ng sagot without thinking or without looking at the clef symbol. Baka mamaya, iba pala. Your answering here is G. Kasi dito, good. And the question is in a G clef or treble clef. So take note of that. Okay? Proceed. Okay, meron din tayo dito yung grand stop combination from here G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Middle C. Middle C. Pareha silang middle C yung red na yan. So tinapat lang medyo mas mataas sa bass clef. Ito naman sakto sa treble clef natin. So middle C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. In short, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 1. Kasi higher do, lower do. So we have 8 or 1 and then 2, 3, 4. So parang umiikot lang siya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same with do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Tapos tataas ulit. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Umiikot-ikot lang siya. Then same with the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or pwede rin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 1 or 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 kaagad. Kasi yung 8 is considered 1. Or for the letters, we have ito nga. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So paikot-ikot lang. Take note. Pagdating nyo sa G, there's no letter H. Okay? Baka mamaya pagdating nyo sa G, mag-H kayo, mali na yung sagot nyo. Kasi nga umikot na siya. So the answer is G, then go back to A. Okay, take note of that. Next, articulation of pitches. So before we go here, so again, I would like you to remember, pag sinabi nating pitch names, pitch, those are the letter names like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Pag sinabing tone, tone, meaning we're talking about sofa syllable. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, do. Then when we are talking about numerical names, of course, from the word numerical, it's very obvious, number names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So those are the different pitches or names of a note. Tandaan nyo yun. There are 3 types of note names. Pitch name, so numerical names, and then tone names. Tone names, pitch names, numerical names. So tatlo yon. So take note of that, okay? And then you have here articulation of pitches. Pag sinabi natin articulation, how you produce a certain notation. How will you execute? For example, we have here staccato. Pag sinabi natin staccato, stack sound. Tak, 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 stack. Is or detached. Tak, tak, tak. Hindi siya sustain. Kumbaga parang short, kaya that. Kumbaga parang if you period kagad, period. Ganun yung tunog. Tak, tak, tak. Wait, let me show you first. Para okay, i-demonstrate natin how to do that. Wait lang ha. Give me a second. So demonstrate natin saglit how to do that. Okay. So how to do the staccato? For example, you're playing a G note. Wait lang. Stack sound, stack. Hindi siya. Meaning, it's already detached note. Or sometimes this is very applicable pag mga fastest note like your 16 note. Yan. Meaning, yung dila nyo talagang nag-i-stack on na siya with the tanging technique. Yan. Next, we have here accent. Sinabi accent, it's more on a emphasized note. For example, you have 4 notes. Quarter note lahat, kunwari. Clap, 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 clap. The same. But your accent is nandun sa 4th note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the importance of accent. Meaning may emphasis or emphasized note. Meaning halatadong meron siyang bigat. Baka pag sa, or the second note, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or for example, your third note is your accented note. Third note, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As easy as that. Accent, meaning with emphasized note. Pag sinabi na, or pag sa nota naman, kunwari, fourth note, ulit. Meron siyang bigat, accented. While for tenuto, it holds the note for its full length. Tan, tan, tan. Meaning, you need to play the note exactly. Hindi siya detached, hindi siya more power, but it's more on comprising the exact full length of a certain note. For example, pag 4-4 na quarter note, yan. Tenuto, nasusustain ng konti, but again, it will be exactly on the full length or ilang beats yung note. Next, we have the fermata. Pag tinawag natin fermata, from the word mata, kasi mukha siyang mata, meaning to hold. Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Yung sa'yo is your fermata. Sa'yo, wait for the leader, the choir master, to cut your singing. Kaya tinawag na fermata. Longer, sustain. Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. That. That. So, ganun lang naman ng fermata. So, how many beats, sir, ang fermata natin? So, it will depend on your conductor or will depend on the all this. It will depend on the kung ilan yung gusto mo, ilang beats. Wala namang problema doon. Okay? So, let's proceed. So, we're done with the articulation. Next, we have here on the staff, we have bar line. The bar line divides the staff to different measures. So, the purpose, babayar tayong staff. Then may bar line to divides the staff into measures. So, kung ilan ang bar line mo doon, yun din yung number of measures. If you have 4 bar lines, 4 measures din yun. So, 1, for example, it's 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. So, ganun siya. So, it divides the staff to produce measure. Next, we have here the staff. Alam nyo na yan, measure. Because if you divide the staff, lalabas yung measure. Next, you have the double bar line. This one. At the end of every piece or a certain intro or verse, chorus, laging merong double bar line. Pero pag ito nakita natin, meaning ending. It's the end of the song. Or it's the end of the verse, end of the a certain part of the song. Pag sinabi naman natin to treble clef, because the treble clef looks like a G, letter G, kaya treble clef, or the bass is bass clef, mata. And then, bakit tinawag na treble clef? Because it starts at the G line. So, on the second line, ito, second line, first, second line of the G clef, that's a G line. While for the bass clef, the fourth line is a F line or F clef. Kaya tinawag silang G clef as well as F clef or treble clef or bass clef. Next, we have here flat. Meaning, pag may flat, your sound goes flat. For example, you have from me going to me flat. Yan, flat yon. Me, then me flat. While for pagdating sa sharp, it goes up. Meaning, flat, you raise the note 1/2 step kalahati. So me, you lower the sound 1/2 step, me flat. Okay? While for sol, kunwari sol, then sol sharp, that's sol, and then you produce sol sharp. Yan. Sol, from sol to sol sharp, meaning tataas. It raised the sound to 1/2 step. Then, of course, fermata, na-discuss na yan. Slur, meaning you connect two sound. Tapos pag, kunwari kapag that is staccato, that is re and la, disconnected. Pero pag sinabing slur, you connect the sound. Meaning from retula, isang blow lang yon, isang hingaan. While if it is staccato below, here is detached, period. Ganyan. Meaning dalawang hinga, dalawang breathing style. It's detached, hindi siya connected. Baga parang slur na siya, meaning it's connected. Then natural, it cancels the sharp as well as flat. Staccato against staccato, legato, you playing a smooth song, love song, literally. Interconnected. So, isang blowing lang lahat. Okay? Unlike with staccato or marcato, it's detached. Then, of course, you have your repeat sign. So, these are the different simple articulation that you need to understand. Okay? So, ganun lang yan. So, we're done with pitch. We still have 3 more. Abutin kayo natin. So, rhythm is the element of time in music. When you tap your foot to the music, you are keeping the beat. So, nagbibit yung paa mo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Or following the structural rhythm pulse of a music. So, there are several important aspects for you to understand in terms of rhythm. So, what are those aspects? Beat is the pulse. Without the beat or the pulse of your heart beat, we are dead. Patay tayo. So very important is the beat. It should be concise. It should be constant. Hindi namamatay. But of course, you need to understand there are circumstances that it will differ. How is it? Duration. How long a sound or silence lasts. Meaning pag sound, yung mga notes. Pag silence, meaning rest. But still counting. Continuous. Example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bayang magi. Parang ganun siya. Meaning, there is a duration on how you sing a certain song. And then tempo, speed of a beat. Meaning, fast tempo, or slow tempo. Yan. Wait. There you go. Okay, we have here name, note name, rest name, equivalent. So we have whole note. Whole note, or we have the whole rest. Itsura niya. We have full note, full rest. Half note, half rest. Quarter note, quarter rest. Eighth note, eighth rest. 16 note, 16 rest. 32nd note, 32nd rest. 64th note, 64th rest. So kung ilan yung hooks niya dito, the same with the rest. So it's an open note, head without a stem, considered usually, for example, your whole note is 4 beats. Kunwari lang kasi not all whole notes is 4 beats. It will depend again on your time signature. So we have here whole note. For example lang, it's 4 beats. Therefore, your whole rest is also 4 beats. Your half note is 2 beats. Therefore, your half rest is also the same. Meaning, 4 beats na may tunog, 4 beats na walang tunog. As easy as that. May sound yung note, while the rest, no sound. But there is counting. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung counting. It's either may tunog or wala. It's the same counting. Hindi pwedeng magbago. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-stop. Meaning, hindi siya nag-end or hindi siya nag-double bar. Meaning, wala lang tunog pero continuous yung counting. So we have, for example, 2 beats na may tunog. Tan, rest, rest. Walang tunog doon. Kasi nga, rest. So, whatever will be the equivalent of your note, depending on the different classification of notes, is also the same of the equivalent countings of your rest. So magkakon lang yan. Magkaparehas lang. Okay? So sometimes, pag itong whole note mo is 8 beats, 8 beats din yung whole rest. Pag 20 beats naman yung whole note, 20 beats din yung whole rest. So paano nangyari yon? Yon ang malalaman natin sa next. So first, we have here tempo. Wait lang. Give me a second. May kukunin lang ako. All right. I'm back. So we have here a metronome. Pakita ko sa inyo si metronome. So we have here grade, very slow and seldom. So pag pinunta natin sa grade, ang sabi dito, grade is 40 beats per minute. Pinunta natin sa grade. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yan yung tempo kung gaano kabagal. 1. Ale. Ale. See? While the next one, we have largo. So from the largo, that is 45 beats per 45 beats. Sample. Ayang mag-iiw. Ganyan kabagal ang largo. Slow and broad. Next, we have larghetto. So from larghetto, we have 63 beats per measure. So, 60 beats per minute. 60 beats per minute. Ayang mag-iiw. Ganyan yung tempo ng larghetto. Next, we have adagio. From the adagio, that is 58 beats per measure. Per minute. 58 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. Ayang mag-iiw. Adagio. Next, we have lento. Still slow din yan. Mga slow movements pa rin to. So from adagio, which is 58. Lento is 54 actually. Mas mabagal ng konti sa adagio. So, lento, slow. More slower than adagio. Then we have andante. Usually this is the walking pace na tawag or normal how you walk at the timing. So that is 72 beats per meter or per minute. 72 beats per minute. Para ka nilalakad sa session code. Ganito yung timing. 1, 2, 3. For normal walking pace. Andante. Followed by moderato. It's moderate. It's normal. So the normal is moderato from 70 to andante. We have moderato here. 96 is the time of moderato. Ayan, yung time niya. So moderato is moderate timing. Next, we have allarghetto, more faster. Kasi from grade to andante, those are the slow tempo. And moderato is the mediator, nasa gitna. And then, from slow, it goes faster. Start with allegretto. So, that is allegretto. That is 108 beats per minute. Ayang mag-iiw. So, ganun yung timing niya. 1, 2. Next, let's proceed. Allegro or fast. From the allegro, we have 132 beats per minute. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the timing na dapat sundan present the Philippine National Anthem. This is the correct tempo. Kaya every time you sing the Philippine National Anthem, it is less than 1 minute. Because of this, allegro. And next, we have vivo or vivace. Vivo, vivace, it's 150. It's more faster. And of course, we have the fastest or second to the fastest. We have presto, which is 184. So from 184, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ganun kabilis ang timing niya. While, meron pa ba? The fastest one is prestissimo. From 184, prestissimo is 208. So ito na yung pinakabilis. Ganun kabilis. Sobrang meaning prestissimo. Alright. So we're done with your tempos. We only have less than 10 minutes. we might be continuing this with the other Zoom link. Okay, wait. Okay, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Lahat sila may tunog. With sound. No sound. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. So the time signature is 4, 4. Doon mo gagamit yan. So counting again, we have also the second type. We have 1, 2, 3, rest 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Nagets nyo ba? Naku sir, lalo kami nahilo. Patay tayo dyan. Kasi nga, again, every time you execute a rhythm, kailangan nakatutok ka sa notes. It will depend. For example, pag sinabi natin rhythm to cut it short, wait, before we proceed, ano yung lumalabas dito? Rhythm. Time signature. For time signature, of course, it tells you the music is to be counted. The time signature is written at the beginning of the stop or clef. Usually, nakikita yung time signature. So in short, it composed of two numbers, upper number and the lower number. So if we're talking about time signature consists of two numbers. Sinabi ko na, the top number of the time signature tells you how many bits on a count or a bit or a measure. This could be any number. So 1 to 1 million, kahit pwede pa. 1 million bits per measure, pwede yun. Or 10 bits per measure. 3 bits per measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Or 2 bits per measure. 1, 2. 1, 2. Or 4 bits per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning, any number na nakalagay sa upper number, that's the number of bits per measure. Natanda niyo yan. Again, the upper number indicates the number of bits per measure. Take note of that. So kahit anong nakalagay na number doon, that will be your number. Kung 7, 7 bits per measure. Kung 12, 12 bits per measure. And the bottom number, ito yung sa baba, kasi two numbers, diba? Upper and lower. Sa lower number, tells you what kind of note. So those are the kinds of notes. It's either whole note, half note, quarter note, 16th note, 32nd note, or any note that will comprise with the number given. So how is it? Pag 1, that's whole note. You'll never see. Meaning, whole note is 1. 1 bit lang siya. Pag half note, it's 2. 1 bit din lang. Lahat to guys, 1 bit. Ang whole note, pwedeng 1 bit. Kapag nakita nyo is 1 sa baba. Pag 2 ang nakalagay sa baba, half note is 1 bit. Pag 4, quarter note is 1 bit. While 8, 8 note is 1 bit. 16 is 16 note is 1 bit. In short, any lower number, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, lahat sila 1 bit. Okay? So, kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo kanina, di ba? The whole note can be 1 bit, pwedeng 2 bits, pwedeng 4 bits, pwedeng 8 bits. Depende na lang sa magiging, or pag ito yung sasabi ko sa inyo guys. Ito. Equals. So 1, whole note, 2, half notes. We have 4, quarter notes. We have 8, 8 notes. 16, 16 notes. Lahat sila 1 bit. So for example, if this is 1 bit whole note, therefore your half notes is half bit. Kalahati lang. 1, half plus half is 1 bit. And then your quarter note is 1/4 bit. So meaning sa isang count, 4 na notes na kagad. For example, your whole note is 4 bits. Paano mangyayari yon? 4 bits ang whole note. Common time, 4, 4. 4 bits per measure. And the lower 4 is quarter note is 1 bit. Dahil 1 bit yung quarter note, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to how many? 4 bits pagdating sa whole note. And the half note is 2 bits. Kasi 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Pagpatak nito, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Next, 6, 8. 6 bits per measure. 8 note is 1 bit. Pag ito 1 bit, 1 plus 1, that's 2 bits. 2 plus 2, 4 bits. 4 plus 4, 8 bits. See? Kanina, 4 bits yung whole note. Ngayon, 8 bits na. Kasi nga, ang time signature is 6, 8. 6 sa taas, 8 sa baba. At pag 8 yung nasa baba, 8 note is 1 bit. So, ganun lang kadali guys. Any number na nakalagay sa upper number, 1 to 1 million, that exaggerated, okay lang yon. But the lower number, take note, these are the only accepted lower number. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. There is no 3, there's no 7, there's no 5 lower number. It's always 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. So tatandaan yan. So whatever is written on the lower number, that is considered 1 bit. And then you should know how to identify. Pag sinabing 1, whole note, 2, half note, 4, quarter note, 8, 8 note, 16, 16 note, and so on. So yun lang naman yung crucial. O ito, 2, 4. 2 bits per measure. Quarter note receives 1 bit. And if you divide the quarter note, dalawang 8 note. 8 note plus 8 note plus quarter note. 1 bit, 1 half, 1 half. Next, you have here 2, 2. Guys, binabasa ko siya ng 2, 4, not 2 fourths, not 2 half, or 3, 16. Kailangan, you read the number itself. Walang TH. So, for example, we have 2, 4, 2 bits per measure. Quarter note receives 1 bit. 2, 2 is also known as cut time signature. 2 bits per measure and 2 bits per measure and half note receives 1 bit. Therefore, pag 1 bit ito, this is 1 half, 1 half. Then we have 316. 3 bits per measure. 16th note is 1 bit. This note is 1 bit. Therefore, your whole note is 16 bits. Ganun lang yon. We have 3, 4. 3 bits per measure. Quarter note receives 1 bit. Oops. 4, 8. 4 bits per measure. And 8 note receives 1 bit. And then we also have here 4, 4 or common time. Pag sinabing common, it's casual or 4, 4. 4 bits per measure and quarter note receives 1 bit. So usually guys, medyo nakakalito to kapag pan. Pero if you're be familiar, again, take note, upper number, any number pwede. Walang problema dyan. Pero sa lower number, again, it's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Those are the only accepted numbers. Wala nang ibang numbers na. Unlike with upper, walang okay lang, kahit ilan nakalagay dyan. But for your lower number, strictly, 1 lang talaga siya. All these selected numbers lang like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So we only have few seconds left. I think we need to have another Zoom meeting link. So isa-send ko sa ating group chat. So thank you. Then more questions. Kung may question kayo, itambak niyo mamaya sa akin, then I will be answering. But we need to continue, okay? Kasi talagang mabibitin tayo sa oras. So may I request again for the link, then ending the session for the
Hard
first.
to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.